Thrilled. Yes.
You wrong
Yes.
for that.
Yeah. Yes. I was trying to push. I'm scrolling through. I met a few new people in the last week, but I don't have any interest in the five red circles that are up there.
Oh,
And then I
listen.
thought, and then I saw,
She just happened to pop up on my screen, and I was like, "Oh, let me listen for a little while." And then I was reading some of the comments. I was like, oh, "See, this is why I don't do them." That's what I was thinking the
yeah,
whole time.
I I love that she did it. I don't know that she's got if that was her first time, but it was fun. As soon as I saw you in the comment section, I was like, hooray. And then when she ended, I was like, it's time for Brandy to go live
Oh, listen.
because because I'm just laying on the couch. My wife, they're doing like her girlfriends are celebrating all of the December birthdays.
Oh, okay. Your wife stays busy. I love that.
She's enjoying it. So she was excited to go out, and I just got the kids down, and so I'm laying on the couch, and I'm like, all right,
Woo-hoo.
Brandy, it's your turn.
I will. I will. I'm just, you know what the issue is? The issue is because I have been an evangelical for so long that all of this is new vocabulary to me. And so sometimes it's hard for me to find my words. Even though I know what I'm talking about, it's hard for me to find my vocabulary. And it bothers me so bad.
Yeah.
It makes me feel stupid.
Yeah, I need time to process. I think my brain is just too slow for TikTok. I need time to like process what somebody just said or a question that they asked, as
Right.
opposed to just like last Wednesday. I forget who it was that came in and that had kind of like rapid fire questions for you, and you were answering like one after the other. And I was like, that's awesome because I get the question. I'm like, all right, now give me a few minutes here to get my thoughts straight, and then I'll try to bring it out. I was on a live last night um, with and it was way too late. It was like midnight, and this atheist has one, and she chewed me to bits.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a massacre.
was it
and
just
then
about
and then at the
was it just about what you believe or
yeah, but she asked what it is that I do, and I explained it, and she's like, so you go to people. You force yourself into visits at people at their most vulnerable state, whether they are Christian or not, and try to tell them to believe in Jesus. And I didn't even have a chance to be like, that's not really what I do.
yeah, because you don't do that at all.
Yeah, not at all, not at all. But I tried to explain it a little bit, but then she went right to Second Samuel, and she was like, God ordered the unaliving of 70,000 soldiers because David was not doing what he was supposed to do. And so she was like, did that happen? And I was just like, I don't know that that's the question to be asking.
I
And I
would have
know,
been like, okay, well, from a historical critical point of view, yeah, that happened. But do you understand the theology of the people of the time? Did they say God told them to do it? Or
that would be your response.
or did they claim that he told them to do it?
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
that would be your response. Your response would be that those things did in fact happen.
See, this is where my perspective has changed. So I have a completely historical critical view of the Bible. I don't I don't make apologies for what's in the book. Does that make sense? So, people, there people say, "Oh, there's slavery in the Bible." Yeah, you're right. There is slavery in the Bible, and it's okay to say that there was slavery in the Bible because that's what happened in the ancient Near East. They had slaves. And the thing about it is that Christians want to spend so much time apologizing and doing this apologetics gymnastic thing that they're doing. And the reason why I can recognize it so fast is because I was so good at apologetics when I was a Christian. And so, like, I know what they're doing, but I've gotten to the point where, no, just tell the truth. What's in there is what's in there. And the thing about it is that that's the lesson. I mean, nobody would read another historical book, right? And they would see something bad in it. And they would say, no, that didn't happen. No, that happened. Like, and here's the thing, whether or not the stories in the Bible, the narratives, whether or not the narratives in the Bible are true, and it still shows a lesson. It shows a lesson on what happens when patriarchy moves from the home to the community to politics to empires. You know, there's a lesson to be learned. It's just that people want to spend so much time apologizing for God. God never asked for you to be a freaking lawyer for him. Why would God need a lawyer? You know, that's the kind of stuff that
But
just
what do you say to somebody who just that statement? So you don't think that God ordered 70,000 soldiers
from
to?
from my understanding on when I read, okay, there's the narrative portion, okay? Then there's the symbolic portion. Anytime in the Bible where God reveals himself, you know. Does that make sense? Like he shows up in the way that he describes himself. But people don't understand the theology of the people that were writing and how they ascribe things to God to give them cover for the stuff that they did. You know, and the thing about it is that they're not the only empire that did it. Pharaoh did it.
Mhm.
I mean, even Caesar declared multiple times, you know, that the gods are on his side. And, well, number one, he saw himself as a god. But there are many empires that used gods as covers for the things that they did. And I think that people, when they read the Bible, they don't understand the politics of it. They don't understand how narratives were very important to the people that were writing them. Because, you know, this is history, you know, to the people in the text. This is history for them. So sometimes the history is written by the victors. And we know that to be historically true, but for some reason the Bible doesn't get the same type of consideration.
Yeah.
That's the part, you know, that I
Yeah, she switched over to Sodom and Gomorrah yet. Do you think that those were actual historical events?
no, I think that they're stories
What
because
about
they're
what
the
about David's army?
I mean, the thing about it is that people would have to prove that these people existed. You know, I'm still doing my homework, so I tell people when I don't know something, I don't know something.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, it
so
was interesting. Like I remember whatever that was 15 years ago, the Katrina, and I remember like some evangelical folks being like, "This is a judgment, a divine like that's why that happened."
mhm.
Like God was furious and angry with sin and sent this catastrophe to warn us or punish us or there's some kind of lesson, but it was a divinely orchestrated thing.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking like that's wild. Like if that were to get into a textbook, a history book, and
Mhm.
in 100 years, well, what happened? What happened in the southern part of or the Gulf Coast of the United States back in 2005 or 8 or whatever it was, and the book would say, "Well, God was furious."
Right. And see, the thing too is that okay, so for me, just based off what I've picked up so far, so you have like folk story heroes, okay, our mythic figures. That's people like Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel, Noah. Noah is definitely not a real person. That story was a common story that was very popular in the ancient Near East. What the people did was they took the story and they put their particular spin on it. And that was actually pretty common back then. So like Jonah, Job, those those are theological stories. Um
Mm-hmm.
and then let's see. So you have legendary heroes with possible historic roots. So they're uncertain and they're debated. So Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Joshua, Samson, and Esther. And then there are historical, plausible, or likely real people. This is supported by archaeology, inscriptions, and external records. These people like David, Solomon, Ahab, Hezekiah, Josiah, Nebuchadnezzar, Cyrus the Great. And then you have like your New Testament figures. Um, so I think that people just need to understand what the Bible is to understand what they're reading. they think that is univocal, but it's not. It's not. It's a library of stories. And I don't know.
Mm. Well, it was an interesting end of the night. I was very relaxed. She was angry, very angry with me.
Right.
And it ended with her saying, okay. I don't know, there's 300-400 people watching.
Right.
And she said, all right, it's time for the tribunal. That's what she said. And she said,
Oh Lord.
is he guilty of what did she say? Bible libel.
Bible libel.
That's what she said. Is he guilty of Bible libel? And then she played like a chanting music, and then I just watched as like one after the other. There was like 100 guilties within 30 seconds.
That's funny.
And then she booted me.
Oh my goodness. Listen, everybody has their own, like, I've seen a few atheists debate. I've seen fundamentalists, Orthodox. I've seen, Pentecostals. Everybody has their own ideas of what they think is in the Bible. Like,
I tried to use your Pentecostal the history of your life, your biography. I tried to use your time in Pentecostalism. I thought about it, saying I received a special new word revelation that you're supposed to go live. Because, that you should.
I told somebody today, they said they got a raise. And I was like, let me send you my Cash App so you can sow me a seed.
Sow me a seed. Yeah. Yeah. I thought about saying, Brandy, I got a word that you're supposed to start doing lives. And
I will. I just get irritated really fast. And like,
yeah.
and that's something like I'm becoming more patient, not not being so reactive. And then too, like I'm just kind of over debating. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
part of it is my ego. My ego is, once I know that I'm winning, like I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's
But
an impressive thing to recognize about yourself, and to see that
yes,
as
I
not a
do.
healthy thing. I posted on Threads. You could look back in like May. I was just like, I think we need to stop debating.
Right.
Like, especially Christians, let's just try loving people well for 10 years and see what happens, and then we'll get
Right.
back to debating. But if we're failing at the primary objective, then
Right.
let's kind of go all hands on deck on that. But
Yes.
This
Like,
girl's background said God is evil. I remember that. I forgot to mention that. It said
oh,
God
okay. I'll have
God
to
is
look it
God
up.
is her
So I can
background
see
says,
her do the tribunal thing. That's
yeah,
funny.
God is evil, changed my mind. And I had no interest in going up, but the previous person who she was just screaming at. So she starts off like calm. Like, "Hey, how you doing tonight?" and like kind of friendly, and then something she doesn't like one of your answers and she sort of goes off.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
I
and
just,
she was brutal, just chewing me out like you wouldn't believe.
and the thing
And
about
like,
it is that it's spectacle. And the thing about, like, I understand spectacle, but I'm not interested in spectacle. I'm
yeah,
interested, like, the only reason why I did a lot of debating is because I was I was unraveling the doctrines that I believed. So, in order for me to unravel them, I had to debate the new ideas. I had to debate what I was reading in the Bible. I had to, um, number one, is because I never want to be captured by another doctrine again. Like, my fear of doctrines isn't as heavy as it was probably a little bit ways through my deconstruction. Um, I mean, I had a healthy fear there for a minute. Like, I was just like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I believe this crap. What's wrong with me?
really.
Like, I mean, like when you read the Bible in context, like it doesn't make any sense. And I was just really disappointed because I feel like I'm a smart person that I could be captured by things that are so blatantly in your face. I don't know. I'd just rather have conversations with people, and I'm not interested in the spectacle of it.
Yeah, it was a weird feeling, but I'm kind of glad I tried it. Like I didn't intend to try it. She said so the banner is God is evil, and when she was chewing out the person that was up there before they booted him, she said, "Well, evil is subjective."
Hmm.
So then I'm kind of like, "Well, then what does your prompt mean if you have to define it?" Because I was thinking you've like defined God. What do you like? I didn't know if like the Christian God or what was her perspective in her banner. And then she made the point that evil is subjective. And I was kind of like, then how do you debate this if my definition of evil can be different than yours?
Hmm.
So I only went up to ask her that question. And then half an hour later, I got but even the tribunal thing was such a weird feel. Like it felt like Pontius Pilate. Like, what do we do with this man?
Doing
Me
the
be
thumbs down thing.
They all did.
Hmm.
Guilty, guilty. Just one, one after the other, and then they did me in, and then they give me the boot.
Have you ever watched Game of Thrones?
No,
Oh, okay.
is it amazing?
So in Game of Thrones, there's a point where they take Cersei Lannister, who essentially she ascends to the throne and all this other stuff. You have to just, oh my God, Game of Thrones is so awesome. Anyway, and so what they do is they walk her through the city with the religious people, and everybody just points at her and goes, shame, shame, shame. And they would ring a bell. They would sing,
Yeah,
shame, ding,
yeah,
shame.
yeah,
That they shamed you.
yeah. It was it was a and I it was funny. Like I saw a couple comments like there. It was a huge
What's up,
crowd.
Jeremy? Jeremy popped up. Sorry.
Hello,
Oh,
hello, hello.
Hello.
welcome,
Thank you
Jeremy.
for talking to me. Thank you for talking to me in the comments.
Oh, no problem. We're just shooting the breeze. This isn't our normal thing that we do.
Yeah, we go tomorrow night though, and I don't want to jeopardize that by taking up either of your
Oh
evenings.
no, you're fine. I'm chilling. I enjoy
No,
living. What
How
you
you
got going
needed
doing?
on,
something
Jeremy?
kind of. I needed something kind of relaxed. So,
Yeah, you
Oh
came to the
yeah.
right place.
Yeah, this is very chill. We typically don't
uh,
argue here. Sometimes people pop on but we don't. We don't care about that.
yeah,
There's a
my feed. I got there was some things that it seemed like it was a reasonable conversation, and then I get into it, and then there's someone that has like an extreme position, and then someone else takes an extreme position. It just becomes this like polarized thing, and
Yes.
I'm like, no, this is not like what this conversation started as. Why is this like that? And and it,
I get it.
and it's like, yeah, it's like, oh my god, no. Either I have to leave or they kick me out, and it's like, why?
Why can't we just
Why?
have a normal conversation like normal
And it's
people
like, why
about
can't we just talk like people?
Is it usually
now?
like? Is it usually political debate?
Uh, poli- uh, s- uh, religio political.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. We try not to do that. I mean, well, what we normally do on Wednesdays, we try to just we're number one. We have all kinds of people that come, and we give everybody the same amount of respect, no matter what their beliefs are. Um, we're a little bit more open minded about different faith practices, and um, I'm I'm a disciple of Jesus, but I believe that fruit can be found in other places, and I want to find out where that is. So
Right.
whether that's atheism or that's Buddhism or
Right. I mean, I'm a Catholic, and I've had all the struggles that entails.
yes, yes, and so we just try to give people space and opportunity here to talk, and and sometimes Ryan ends up being what do you call it, Ryan? a, a
Uh,
referee.
Moderator.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
and I have had to be the moderator in a lot of those places until someone says something just like completely out of line.
hmm
Like, oh yeah, well, when those a bunch of people get together and they want to kill someone, maybe that's justified because that's the way society works. It's like, no.
right.
It's like, but then I get in the argument. It's like, well, that's what your people did. It's like, well, yes, but also that's not what I support. It's like,
Yeah.
why do you make me?
Right. You're guilty
It's
of, you're
like,
guilty by association. Yeah. I get
yeah,
it.
it's like I
Yeah.
am guilty by association, but also like I'm part of the Reformation or the change or
Whatever we're
whatever you
calling
want to call
this.
it. It's like
Yes.
it's like I'm, it's like I would not drive my sword through a Saracen.
I'm honestly hoping, I mean, this is my like wish list, I guess we want to call it. But I do hope that we eventually move to like a post doctrine Christianity. I don't know.
Oh, there are so many people that want that, but there are also so many people that they're so wrapped up in these like historical conflicts that they feel like they need that for their identity.
Mm,
Yeah, that's a good point.
right.
Jeremy, out of curiosity, were you born into the Catholic Church and have been there all your life, or did you come to it later in your life?
Yeah, pretty much. I was born Catholic. My parents were northeastern United States Catholics, and pretty much rolled me into that. And but I've lived, I've worked with, learned, lived, and worked with people that are of all different faiths, um, including Protestants, uh, Muslim, Jewish, you know, basically all the Abrahamics and people that have followed the pagan religions as well. So
So you've had exposure to different types of people, and that's kind
yeah,
of shaped your way of thinking.
yeah.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
think
I
a
would
lot
still
of
consider
people
myself
live
a
in
Catholic,
silos.
but
like personally in their everyday life, they're not surrounded by different types of people. They have a hard time um, getting to know other people and what they believe or how they eat or
Well, yeah. I also even before like I went to post a lot of the world would call it post schools. Like when I was in elementary school, I lived next to a Jewish family, and then they moved out, and I moved, and a Asian family moved in, so I had some interface with that. So I had a relatively blessed like cultural mix of childhood.
Hmm. Is did you spend it? Were your folks dragging you to mass 5 times a week, or was it not a huge part of your upbringing?
And no, they I went to church once a week
Hmm.
before I moved out. Um, and that was till I was about 18. So I went to church weekly. I went to catechism. I got baptized. Went through the Holy Communion. Got confirmed. You know, I went through all the Catholic ritual, I'll
Mhm.
say. Which
Is
I
it
mean,
still? Is it still like
is.
a? Is it kind of like I'm Catholic because I've always been Catholic, or is it still like a big part of your life that you are passionate about, or put a lot of time into, or
Well,
I don't mean these to be invasive questions. You don't have to answer these
you
if
can
you're.
answer what you want to answer.
no,
Yes.
it's always
We're nosy here. We're nosy,
no, it's
nosy.
always
I just like getting to
it,
know. I like getting to know people.
it's always it's kind of it's hard to answer because like yes, I think the Catholic, the way that I was raised in the Catholic theology was very impactful on my sense of like justice and like how people should be treated and everything. But I took that in a way that like a lot of Catholics seem to make excuses, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like love thy neighbor. Everyone is my neighbor. Like you random people online, you're my neighbor. um the person that I try to treat with respectful conduct, they're my neighbor. The person I don't know how to really describe it. It's just like be a good person. Really
Yeah.
is what I took a lot away from my Catholic upbringing, is because Jesus wanted us to be kind to each other, and that's what I got from basically 90% of the teachings. Like I stopped one of my classmates in catechism school from crushing a ladybug because I said, "No, that's one of Jesus's creatures. Don't don't kill it."
Oh, you have a big
Mm.
empath heart. That's what it is.
It's a tough time
I
to be.
literally
Yeah.
I literally like when you cage your hand and you like lock up your the joints in your hand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I did over this ladybug to stop this person from stepping on it.
You're not gonna kill my ladybug, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I said like, no, that is a creature of God. Don't
Yeah.
kill it.
I love that though. That's sweet. Do
Oh,
you have?
we have to say unalive it, right?
Oh yeah. We have
Oh,
rules.
sorry, yeah.
It's
Do
not
No, that's all
not
Jeremy.
right.
unalive it.
We're talking about
Yeah.
ladybugs. We're talking
Do
about
you,
ladybugs.
Jeremy? Do you have
Do
kids?
not crush it. I do.
What? How old are your kids? Mine is 4 and 11.
Mine is 5 and 2.
Okay, so you have kids
Nice.
right around me and Ryan's.
Yeah, mine are 5, 7, 8, but in a month and a half they'll be 6, 7, 8, and so that half of the year is easy. When people ask, "How old are your kids?" I'm like 6, 7, 8.
Ryan, did y'all do that on purpose?
No, definitely not the second round. My brothers asked the same question. You're like, you know how this happens, right? Like, you know, like, what are you?
Cut it out.
No.
Yeah. I remember John Mark
My-
being like, find a hobby, go ride bikes or read
Start
books.
learning how to
She
use your
is. She
TV.
is my hobby.
The
Or
first
how
one
to
was
My
turn the
ex-
TV on.
My ex literally told me, "You got me pregnant, asshole."
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
the first one was all excitement, like all like the well, we had one that we had one first that we miscarried, which was a devastating experience, and one that I would have thought happens to 1 out of 1,000 people, but it's like 1 out of 4 or something incredibly common.
Yeah, same here.
But it was devastating because we were not, well, you're never really prepared, but that was the first time. We had been married like 9 months or something, and we found out that we were pregnant, and we were both kind of like panicked, I guess, like, oh man. And then that panic went to like fear, like full on fear for a couple days, and then it went to like acceptance, and then to excitement, and then to like preparation, and then to done. And it was just a wild 4 weeks or whatever it was. And then Gabe, our first one, came not too long after that. And then Noah, the second boy, was not planned at all. So it went from like super excited, like we're having a baby, and then the next test was just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Ryan?
Yeah.
So after y'all had the miscarriage, then the next baby, that one was planned.
Yes. So yeah,
Well,
I mean,
So here's my question, though. Do you know how common it is for couples when they miscarry to almost immediately then get pregnant again?
That's what happened to me.
is that
Yeah.
common?
It's very, very,
It is.
very common.
Yeah.
Because you're fertile as hell.
The body,
Fertile myrtle.
the body basically adapts from that miscarriage, and it's not uncommon for essentially wombs that have been infertile to then become fertile. It is painful psychologically for mothers that have miscarried to then carry.
Yeah, it was,
And we went through that.
Yeah, it's hard.
man.
And I, obviously as the guy, it's difficult for us to understand that burden. Like we have that moment of joy, but then we have that moment of like fear, of panic, and then it kind of gradually goes away. But for the woman, it stays, and it's not easy for them on that side. And
Right.
Yeah.
And then you still have to be like, I think for my husband, he was just like, I felt like I had to be present because we had a kid. And so I think for him, I think he felt like he's like, I got to be everything for her right now because she's not. We call it like when I'm 90, he's the 10, or if I'm 70%, he's going to try to be that 30, and we swap roles. Because not
Yeah.
everybody is 100% all the time,
Oh yeah. It's I mean, it's the same. It's the same. Before, during, and after. You got to be at a certain level
Mm.
to just be in a household.
Yeah.
Like maybe before it was, 70-30. During, maybe it's 60-40 in the man's side.
Mm-hmm.
After it's, 50-50 or 60-40, or however that levels out with the kids. And, if the mom wants a career, or if the mom wants to work, they have to get daycare. So it has to balance. Like, you need to figure that out.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how people are
And
making it with daycare prices now.
yeah, no, I don't know either. Because even when I was in the military, like, the on base daycare was like $500 a day. And I was
Isn't
like,
that crazy?
Wait,
how?
what? Five
I was
hundred
like,
dollars a
how?
day?
Yeah, no, it is. And I was like, okay, so
That's
yeah,
twenty
you
five
can go
hundred
to
dollars a
work.
week.
Do you mean
No,
weekly or
that
you
was
mean
like,
daily?
no,
It
you
had to.
mean
That,
daily.
holy cow!
I can't do it.
And I was
No, that's
like,
why I stopped working.
okay, yeah, you go to work, you make $800 a day. That is basically paying for your car and your daycare to put the kids in daycare, and that is it. And like, whatever else you want, I am paying for. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. Like, okay, you want to do this? Sure. Okay, sure.
Right. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you
And
want to do?
I told her that. I was like, okay, so we're paying like $530, or maybe not a day, but like,
I knew what you meant.
we're
I think you're saying a
basically
week because
paying.
it's usually about 5. Well, but when my daughter was my oldest, she's 11 now. I think it was like $300 to $400 a week, and now daycare is up to like $500 to $600 a week. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
a lot of money.
Ryan, now
it's
do you understand why I
expensive as
was doing
shit.
what I told you I was doing?
Yes.
It's out of control.
And she was going to work, and she was, doing decent. She was at like she was working at the O Club, the E Club, whatever, the clubhouse, basically.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So she would be getting like $700-800 a week. It's like, okay, whatever. She's paying for her own car, paying for her own thing, whatever. And then she quit that job because her bosses were horrible.
Yeah, like, listen, I get it.
No, I get that. And I was like, okay, I can't even blame you for that. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, I get it. If I could quit because my bosses were horrible at that point, I would have.
Right.
And then she went to work at Domino's, and it was like, oh my God. You think that's going to be any better? But apparently she had a lot more fun with it, and she got tips and so on, and it's like, okay, that paid for her car. She didn't need to go. She didn't need to have daycare during the day. Yeah.
It makes a trade off. I think that's where we are, like, as a nation. Like, we're just trading off. Like, we're like, okay, well, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I'll just do this. Like, we just have no breathing room. I feel like none.
Well, yeah, but
And they
I
know
mean,
it.
even when I like, if she submitted FAFSA, she could have gone to college. She could have gone to like culinary courses. She could have done anything else. But no, she wanted to work like a minimum wage job. And I was like,
Mhm.
why? And I get it, but I also don't get it. Like,
Right.
you wanted, like, you didn't want to be financially independent. or you didn't want to be financially dependent on me,
Mhm.
so you went to work a minimum wage job.
How old was she?
You
If you don't mind me asking, I'm sorry.
um
Nosy.
she was like 25, 24.
Okay.
This was when she was 24 to 26.
Okay.
But you know what? Those minimum wage jobs, it depends on where that minimum wage job is.
It was
Um,
North Carolina. It
my
was
no,
725.
no, no, I don't know. I don't mean the state. I'm in Florida. We don't make jack crap here either. But well, it depends on what you do, right? My husband is a foreman for underground utilities, and
No, I mean
he make.
minimum wage as in like federal minimum wage.
I know. Hold on. I'm getting there. Um, so my husband makes really good money. My daughter and her fiance work at Chili's as servers, so they get paid min just like a few pennies above minimum wage. But the tips that those two bring in
hmm
equals at least as much or more than my husband makes. It is
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I used to work for a oh, what do you call it? A country club when I lived in Greenville, and I made $9 an hour plus tips. Now these were rich people. Some of these people had money, and they were kind of stingy with it. But then there were some they had money and they ain't mind throwing it around.
Listen,
But
Yeah.
I'll tell you this too, Brandy. The bigger my daughter gets in her pregnancy, the more money people are willing to give
oh
her in
yeah,
tips. Like
yes.
every night when she goes to work, I hug her and I rub her belly and I go, "You get out there and make some money for your mama."
Yeah. And the bigger the better, huh? She's just going to make like a 10% increase each week.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you would be so surprised at like. Now, I will say this: waiting tables. The country club was the best job I ever had because I met all kind of celebrities. Like, well, I mean, they're not really celebrities now, but like Wayne Gretzky and like different like golfers and like different types of things. Um, that was the best. That was probably the best waiting job that I ever had. But I also like I worked at like Ruby Tuesdays in the mall. It was awful. Like guys would hit on you, they would touch you. Like,
Oh no,
oh,
no.
No.
I used to
Yeah,
hate
that's
that. Like, ugh.
I was going to say that was one of my like primary concerns when she was pregnant with my first kid is she worked at we were in Okinawa. Like the only places she could work at were bars or uh childcare facilities, and the childcare facilities were staffed up, so all she could work at was bars, and it was like an anxiety attack every time she went to work.
Oh, I get that.
For her or for you?
Yes. Well, no,
Both? Okay.
I
more
like
for
that.
me.
Yes.
More for me. More for me because she's confident. She's pretty socially confident, and um, fuck.
It's all right. We listen, no judgment.
No, it's the reality is that she cheated on me while we were in Okinawa, and that's
I hate that.
yeah,
I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
yeah.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
I
No,
really
it's
did mean
okay.
to.
Listen, this space, it happens all the time. Don't what happens is you get comfortable, you start sharing, and that's okay. Like sharing is good. People
This
need
is a safe
community.
space.
Right. This is community. And the thing about it is that what happened, okay? And usually there's a conversation that has happened between the both of you. And, I don't know how long ago this was or whatever, but, it's okay for you to process it here. We're not judging you, and it is what it is.
Thanks.
I'm glad you came in.
Can I lighten the mood for a
I,
second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Ryan, I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
so
Here we
Let's
go.
give let's give Jeremy a little moment to breathe.
this is Tuesday, not Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes.
So my question is, did you need to have a soul cleansing live tonight after that live you were in last night?
Were you there?
I was there.
Oh, it was so fun. I
And
was telling.
every time she said, "You're indoctrinating people on their deathbed," I kept typing in the bottom, "That is not what he does."
Yeah, I
Like,
was it
appreciate it.
me?
ugh,
That was one of
I
my
feel like
favorite.
crazy.
I feel
One
like
of
I
my
was there
favorite.
for that.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Jeremy, have you been here before?
No, but I feel like I've heard that before. Like you
Oh,
were
this woman was
indoctrinating people
horrible.
on their deathbed, like you were listening to someone that was talking.
This woman was horrible.
No, it was
Like,
great. It was fantastic. So I'll tell you that it was a fantastic evening. I'll tell you the story. Well, it goes back. Do you guys remember Bremner? Probably not. He was on our live like when we had one of those busy nights. Remember those 2 weeks in a row when there was like 40 people in just in the
Oh,
whole
yes.
when the crowd of the show that I watch decided to come in here. So Bremner came in once. He was the guy that said he prays every day to the moon. Do you remember that or no?
I don't remember the moon part.
Yeah, he said, but I got the impression that he wasn't like being facetious or like poking fun. Like I could be wrong, but I think that that's actually something that he does just based on what I've heard from him before. He doesn't usually like say stuff he doesn't mean or so immediately I was like, I want to have him back in here someday. So I followed he watches that live, I think, or asked me if I'd ever seen that live before. And I was like, no, who is she? And he told me her name. Her name is something atheist. I forget the panel's name. It'll come to me. But so I went in and I was just
deconstructed atheist or something like that.
something like that.
Just call her the devil horn lady.
No, I think it's born again. Born again.
Yeah,
atheist.
that's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, born again atheist. That's it.
I was in, and there was 200 or 300 people watching, and there was a guy that was up that was like getting chewed apart or something, and then the sign says God is evil, change my mind, and then in the conversation she was having with that guy, she suggested that evil is subjective, like you and I can have different definitions of evil. And so that piqued my curiosity. I was just, and I was like, what do you, if you think that we can all have different definitions of evil, what does your sign mean? Like God is evil based on, first of all, our definition of God, and second of all, our definition of evil, if that's also subjective. So I went up just to ask her that. I'm like, can you clarify what you mean by evil being subjective? And so she was like, here's my definition of evil. You could have a different definition of evil. And then she went in and like, I see you're a chaplain, which kind of, it didn't catch me off guard. I was like, I know that people can just,
People
can search, but it happened very quickly, right? They just like look at your page, and I'm not shy about it. I think it's the first thing in there. Like I'm a hospice chaplain. So it's not like a deep dive, but she's like, you're a hospice chaplain? I'm like, I am. And then it was a 20-minute conversation about how evil the work that I do is, because from her estimation, it's just like you go into people's at their most vulnerable moment and try to like convert them. And no matter what I try to do, I ended up laughing a couple of times. I was just like, that's not what I do. But
you were pissing her off, Ryan. Like big time.
Yeah.
You were pissing her off.
laughing at that girl.
She was screaming at Ryan. Like she was getting so mad.
and you know what it was like 12:30. It's way past my bedtime, and I was doing it doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is laying completely flat on the couch with a pillow under my head and phone on my chest. So I couldn't even see her. Like I picked the phone up a couple times like this, like off, and I could see her like coming at me.
Yes, yeah.
Like, there was
He's
all
not lying.
this stuff happening, and then I immediately just like set it back down because I was kind of like I picked it up to
Ooh,
look,
jump
and I was
scare.
like, oh goodness, she's coming at me. So I set it back on my chest, and I have no idea for the last 15 minutes. I had no idea what her. I watched in the middle of it. She asked kind of like, so what do you do then for my job? And then I answered her, and it took me like 60 or 90 seconds to explain what a hospice chaplain does.
Right.
But she was gone for that whole time. She like walked off.
She did. Yep, she left.
Why?
She left
See, that
camera.
irritates me so bad. You just spent all this time railing on me, and then when you finally actually get to know me, you're not even paying attention.
Yeah.
Well,
And I asked her when she got
tried
back, I was like, did you hear, and I think it seems like a condescending, did you hear anything that I just said is something that you would say that sounds argumentative? But I was genuinely curious, did you listen by chance to the last 2 minutes where I explained what it is that I do? And she's like, oh yeah, I can still hear. I had headphones on, but I can still hear. And then we were still sort of going. She was like fixated on the 70,000 soldiers that were unalived because of David, and then she switched to Sodom and Gomorrah. So she was like on that question.
She knew her Bible.
She doesn't, but she does.
Well,
She doesn't because she went to first, and she didn't even remember going from verse to verse. She's like, I've only given you one verse. I'm like, did you not just read something from John, from First John, from First Peter? She's like, oh yeah, I said all those things, but I'm talking about just one passage here. I'm like, well, can we go back to the John one? I told Brandy at the beginning of this, I was just like, I need, like, you got to give me a second. You can't just say, well, God, the Bible is the Word of God according to John 1, and then according to First Peter, and according to some other verse. I'm like, well, time out. In my brain, at least. I'm like,
It's a debate tactic. That's all. What they do is they'll crowd you with a whole bunch of information to overload you.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to think about what they've asked. It's not good faith debating. It's just
No, it's not.
She kept calling you wishy-washy and saying that, well, if you can't say that you believe in this, then you're not really a Christian, right? And we were like, no, I mean, I am. I don't like that term. Oh, you don't like the term Christian, but you say you're a Christian? Like, it was crazy.
But you know what, though? This is going to get extremely hard for more people as more Christians abandon institutional religion and really just embrace the discipleship part. It's going to get harder for atheists to.
She told Ryan that atheists hate him.
Oh,
I think everybody hates me, according to her. Like I was the devil. I was the devil. Sorry. She was like, you are just worse than Satan.
The worst ever, Ryan.
Like I'm sort of like roaming the halls of nursing homes, like hoping that like as soon as they can't reject me anymore, I'm going to go in and
declare him Lord. Now.
Yes, it was amazing. And then
start spreading around the holy water.
Yeah,
declare him Lord.
John 1 is one of my favorite. Is one of my favorite
angel appeared
chapters.
and said, "Fear me not."
Yeah. So she stopped on John 1
ahead.
for.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Oh, go ahead.
He was reading it, I think.
The angel appeared and said, "Fear me not, for I am the word. I am the word of the Lord." But that whole story just kind of reminded me of when I was in a debate with some people where they were basically trying to tear apart any institution of religion, and I started talking about my priests, one of which had served in the Navy. He was a chaplain.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on a aircraft carrier, and he was watching the other, smaller ships, and they bobbed about, but the aircraft carrier stayed stable. And he's making an analogy about that, and it was it was kind of profound to me, even though I hadn't served in the military yet. And it was like, oh yeah, he was making a good point. And
Mm.
then I was thinking about Father Rosas and how he basically, even though he wasn't the greatest at English, like he made that part of the sermon, like he made that funny.
Mm. I see what you're
He
saying.
used that, like he translated the words literally, and then he would say like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying?" And then he would like try to,
It was like
he would,
he was aware that his English wasn't the greatest, but he wasn't afraid to pick at himself
yeah,
about it.
yeah. So he would translate it literally, and then he would try to like make kind of a spoof of it, and it was funny. It was
Mm.
he was trying to relate to the people because I mean a lot of our Catholic community was Hispanic,
Mm.
so a lot of them understood Spanish. So he would probably give them that to that, but to the English speaking part of the congregation, he would do this. He would make this part of the uh, the sermons.
Right, to be
Mm.
relatable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I just think that people,
and
it's not all bad. Like,
no, it's not, and
yeah,
that's what.
it's yeah.
Like as soon as I started trying to talk about this stuff to them, they were like, "Oh, so those priests that spoke English abused English speaking kids." I was like, "No,
What?
this was a good this was a good priest that I knew that they aggravated me." And it was
Mm.
like as soon as I started talking about like the good people that influenced me in a good way through the Catholic Church, it's like, "Oh, so they slept with the good Catholic kids, right?" It's like, "No."
Like, why do
What
we
in
even have
the
to go there?
heck?
Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of, whether on either side, right? Like, the fundamentalists don't have room for nuance. And then the people that are, anti-establishment religion or whatever, atheist or whatever, and I'm not saying that all of everybody's like this, but feel like there's a lack of nuance when it comes to spirituality. Like, that is a very deep thing. And I think that people take it lightly for those that make a decision on how they want to move away or how they want to change themselves spiritually. I mean, when you're in like fundamentalist environments that are very heavily doctrinal, like, you're in it.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
just to expect like this overnight change, and like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't aim for change, but I think that sometimes those who do leave forget what it was like when they were in it, and they don't have the same type of grace and understanding, that they should. I mean, even like, me and Ryan have talked to this one guy. He's secular, but he believes in like Aristotle and all this other stuff. And I asked him, and I was like, "So are you okay with our current administration using religion to drum up voters?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, for him, it was a strategy. And I was like, "But what about their souls?" He's like, "Oh, I don't believe in none of that stuff." I was
What the
like,
fuck?
Yeah. He is.
"Yes,
He
this
is
is
a.
real, Ryan, isn't it?"
How
Well,
how the fuck can
yes.
you how the fuck can you argue drumming up religious voters without souls? What the fuck?
Listen, like, to him, it's just strategy. Like, it's. I'm
So he's
telling you.
not really religious.
No, he's
No.
not religious. He believes in philosophy, and he'll tell you, he's like, I believe in Aristotle and reasoning and all this other stuff. But to
So,
him, he feels like religion is a means to an end, meaning
so where
that
do you want my flamethrower?
Brandy, can I piece in some of the drama?
Oh Lord.
Are you guys interested
Oh,
in
hold on.
drama?
I just wanted to ask Jeremy, are you
Yeah.
okay? I know that we moved on. I wanted to give you some time to
Oh,
process.
I just wanted to make sure I had my flamer approach it.
Okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, so that particular person is um a not a star of the show that I watch, but what do you call like a common guest, like a frequent,
A frequent flyer?
yeah, like I don't know what you call like on a TV show, somebody that's in like half of the episodes, but not every single one of them. But
So if it was like Family Matters, he would be like not Urkel's nerdy friend. What was his
I'm
name?
just over
exactly.
here racking my bolt gun.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah, there's a name for that, like a
Supporting
side
character?
of a supporting
A
character.
false prophet.
So he had this crash. So my show is sort of falling apart, which in some ways makes me sad because there's two
I'm
different hosts.
sorry.
Go ahead.
It's a debate show he liked. Well, not
Yeah.
show. It's a debate
No.
night he likes. He calls it his show.
Yeah, because I watch it just for even last night was just sort of like all of this. I'm just sort of like learning people, like getting to know people, whether that's like this girl that's just chewing me out, and I was so at peace the whole time. I was half asleep and so at peace with the conversation, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere they had this tribunal. I told Randy about it.
Yeah.
Shame.
Like shame. Yeah. So
Yeah. No,
right in
that's-
the
Streaker, have you ever watched Game of Thrones? You have?
Every episode at least 3 times.
Yes,
Yep.
me too.
I have binge watched it. And then
Oh,
the House
man.
of Dragons, too.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you
no.
remember when Cersei Lannister was made to walk through the cobbled street?
Shame.
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 yeah, that happened to me.
Ryan,
Yeah.
I
So-
need you to invest in watching Game of Thrones, please, for
Yeah,
me.
I know. There's so many things I need to do, and I just am
What
tired.
was
But I'm in a good place. Like I was very. I feel very at peace. Like even at peace enough to like. I asked my question. I was just like, okay, thanks for clarifying that evil is subjective. And then I didn't really have any desire to carry on with more conversation, and it just happened. And I was like, I was so apathetic. I was like, she's tearing me to shreds and just chewing me out. And I'm like, I'm fine with it. Didn't bother me at all. But then the tribunal was awesome because it came out of left field. It was right after she mentioned, John. I was like, ooh, let's unpack that. Because she mentioned John as like in defense of why the Bible is the literal, like infallible, inerrant word of God or whatever. And I was like, oh, what does it say in John 1? And she, I think, read the first verse. And I'm like, oh, go to verse 14. It gets so good. Like you're missing the whole point.
They weren't having that.
Yeah,
conversation.
but it was already past that. And then it went to the tribunal, and she was just, and like a bell rang or something. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then there was like a music for a second, and then it was like to the people in the crowd, like the masses. Like I felt like I was in a coliseum, and it was like,
It's spectacle.
is he guilty? And part of me was like cheering with the crowd for my own demise. I was like,
Oh my god!
I was
Even
like,
as a
yes.
Catholic.
I was like,
Even as a
yes,
true
he's
Catholic.
guilty. And then
Off with his head.
and they did. And I did pick up the phone to just look at the comments for a second. It was just guilty, 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 guilty. And then and then she disconnected me.
That is funny.
But the wild thing is she's able to like switch over to calm in a second. She goes into the next conversation completely unflapped.
It is spectacle. That's
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
spectacle. It's not meant for real conversation.
Right.
It's just that's where we are, like, as a nation. Like, everything is about spectacle. Nothing is about going deep,
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
legitimate conversation. Like, it's all about how can I just, I don't know, make people laugh. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like there's so many people out here who need to process what is happening right
Well,
now,
there
and
is
there's
and
like
there isn't.
no legitimate spaces.
There
Yeah.
needs to be people that can legitimately actually talk about
Mm,
like these differences in ideology and things.
Yeah. I
There needs to
sometimes think that
be
with
some
the
actual discussion, not just hatred, not just
right.
vitriol, not just like single minded, like I am right, you are wrong type of philosophy.
Hmm.
yeah.
I should
And
have
that
a
has been
I should have a
true. That has been true throughout
non-binary
all of
thinking
humanity.
live.
I don't think
How
many
the
people
hell
would
they
be
do
able to I don't think many people would be able to understand it. Like there was no nuance with this girl. I tried to like slide in like are we
It's yeah, it's
are
been
we
pretty.
aware that there are different genres like it within the Bible? It's not all like historical, literal nonfiction,
Yeah, I
but it
mean
wasn't
it's a lot of
wasn't getting anywhere.
interpretation, as is a lot of religious text is up to interpretation. Like Constantine tried to solidify it in 338 with the Council of Nicaea, but that's not, or Nicaea,
Nikea.
whatever.
I like that. Nike.
Nicaea, whatever.
I love it.
Nicea,
I know what you're
Nicaea,
saying.
Nicaea.
It's just funny. I like it.
You're a
If
Warhammer fan, aren't you?
You say I'm a what fan?
You're a Warhammer fan, aren't you?
I don't even know what Warhammer is. I just like
Never
good,
mind.
funny things.
if
It's
you
in
have
Nicaea, the Council of Nicaea. He tried to codify it. He tried to solidify it, but it even that didn't work because it represented a singular ideal
Yes.
placed on a theological text, and it didn't work. Short to say, it didn't work. Like there was still the East and West, um, basically ideology of Christianity, and um, there were so many other sects of Christianity, just as it is now with like Islam. There's the Kurds, there's the Sunnis, there's the Shiites, there's the all the tribes across Afghanistan, and there's Pakistan, and there's Jewish theology that expands across uh,
Hmm.
Israel and Poland, and there's like basically a whole other sect that exists in America that is different from everything other than the Zion and uh,
Why don't we just give in to our urge for diversity? I don't get it. Like,
that's
let's
what
just,
I don't get.
yeah,
That's
can we
what
just
I'm
give in?
saying. It's like we all believe in different things.
It's
Like we all
okay.
think different things. It's like why do we have to just kill each other over it? Why?
Listen, as long as you're not harming someone
Or
and what you're
sorry,
doing brings
loud.
justice and it brings, liberation. I'm tired of even saying the word justice. I'm telling everybody, if it don't bring liberation, I don't want to hear it. Like, if it ain't liberating my
Well, that's a
pocket, if it ain't liberating my bank, if it ain't liberating, these schools so our kids can get a good education, I don't want to
well, that's the
hear
thing.
that.
Everyone thinks they're not liberating their education. They're not liberating their bag. They're not liberating their
This
thing.
country
It's
ain't liberating nothing but Donald Trump.
it's like the people of Israel don't think that Gaza is liberating their notion of like Jewish statehood. The people of Gaza don't think that they're liberating their notion of Palestinian statehood, and it's like there's all this like statehood and ideological like boundary and all that. They all want to have their own territory. They all want to have their own identity. And it's like, look, we can all just exist on the same earth. You can be your own people and just have your own ideology, and you don't have to kill each other over it. But no, that's not how it's worked for the last
Well, that means that we
10,000
would have to
years.
embrace pluralism, and some people
But
are just adamant about not living
That
in a
ain't,
pluralistic society.
yeah, that
but
ain't
that's not
happening.
how it's worked for the last 10,000 years. So a lot of people have trouble getting over that.
Oh my God, I wish that they would stop every
I
day.
wish. I dearly, sorely wish.
I think a lot of people are getting tired. I think that, like, I mean, all of this, it'll wear you out if you let it. Like, I think that, like, at some point I had to be like, okay, I just can't keep watching the news all the time. Like, I'm gonna catch up on the highlight, see what numbnuts is doing today, and then I'm just gonna, like, I'll see what the Congress is doing today. But after a while, I was like, I felt like I was feeding into the program they wanted me to watch.
Yeah,
I'm just not
Yeah.
interested in this Jerry Springer show
yeah.
they got going on. Like, this is what
Yeah.
the White House feels like: Jerry Springer's version of West Wing.
Yeah.
Or House of
The only
Cards.
way the only way to disperse it is just to, you talk to your neighbor who said, you say, like, I'm tired of this, just let's sit down and talk. And then that neighbor talks to two neighbors and they say, I'm tired of this, let's just sit down and talk. And eventually it gets to someone, among this network. It's the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You eventually you get to the person where it's like, you know what? Yeah. I'm
Yep.
tired of this too. I don't want my friends shooting my enemies who could be my friends, who have a very similar but slightly different,
Right.
notion of the world, and we all just need to like sit down, have a talk. And
Brandy, do you think it's like you said you feel like people are getting tired?
Yes.
I sense that too, but sometimes I think that that's like wishful thinking almost. Like we need to get to a point of exhaustion where like we got to do something different than how we're doing things now. So it's like I want us to become so tired that something changes. Does that make any sense?
I feel like this is my honest opinion. Okay. This is my brass tacks opinion. Okay. I really feel as if we are trained in pragmatism. Like, let's just keep going. Let's keep things going as long as they work. But nobody ever questions the system and why it's not working. They would rather hold on to that fake pragmatism. They know it's not working, right? It's obvious to everyone what we have right now is not working. The fact that we have idiots running the White House, I mean, let's be honest. And that's another thing too. Like, we need people to start telling the truth, not have truths, not whatever they think is that, but no, the truth. We have people that are completely incompetent that are running the White House. We have a think tank that has been running the nation since the 70s. And apparently, they have run the nation into the ground with their policies. So, why do we keep allowing them to keep writing laws? And I think that we're moving into a season where we're going to start seeing some radical truth tellers. Because the thing about it is that once you start touching the kids, then we having a different type of conversation. Like, Now we're getting to the point where y'all want to put these different types of clubs in the schools. Now y'all want to, no, I don't want my kids listening to any type of misogynistic foolishness that y'all got going on in those alt-right funnels. And I think that we're going to have to start telling them the truth. Like, no, that kind of talk is not okay. Period. We just going to have to get to that place. And I think that a lot of people, I don't know, we don't have no, what I was saying, this is somebody else's thing. The nation has no moral imagination. Like we can't sit down and morally think what would be great for us. Healthcare. Gee, that's moral that people can go. And I mean, just rethinking things. And we don't have that anymore. It's just, I don't know.
No, it does. It feels like a Jerry Springer show. I'm like,
it's all the time.
I know, and it's almost like it's like if people are getting tired, like they did on Jerry Springer, right? Like I'm sure the first few years, it was just some people that were screaming at each other, and then all of a sudden somebody threw something, and then they just ended up with full on
brawls.
Yeah, by the 20th season, you're like, you got to keep up in the ante. So now we're just.
Did you ever watch that
fighting.
documentary that they made about Jerry Springer?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. Please go watch that. I'm telling you, as soon as I watched it, the next thing I said, this is what Donald Trump is running.
Yes.
He is running full-blown Jerry Springer.
Yeah. So when you have this.
Complete with racists.
Yep. And when you have this, Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner is horrific. It's this horrific situation, and then his response to it is just unreal. But it's almost like we're supposed to be like shocked and appalled, and I don't have the energy to like feign like I can't believe it. Like of course this is exactly who he is. Like why are we pretending that we're surprised that this would be his response? But it felt like it's getting into season 10 or season 15 of Jerry Springer. You got to do something even more appalling to keep the show going.
That is exactly how he ran his campaign.
Yeah.
He just wanted the shock factor, the attention, and everything, and everyone knew his name, and eventually someone said something that someone agreed with, and
it was off
they got the votes, and it was.
And when we go to the next level of intensity, like we talked about that before. Like I remember when Fuentes went to Mar-a-Lago for lunch or something with Kanye, and everybody was all up in arms, like I can't believe he's bringing a white supremacist. Now it wouldn't be that big a deal. Now it's like, yeah,
isn't that crazy? Like people are just getting so used to having these people around. Like I'm like, no, go back to the corners of the dark internet where you should have never left.
Yeah, and I struggle with that.
Raided Mar-a-Lago for confiscated documents that he shouldn't have had.
Period.
Like, oh yeah, he's the best for international security. It's like, no, he's not.
Like, what are y'all talking about? He's so stupid. Like, that scares me every day. Like, I'm like
the stupidity of his voters. And the gerrymandering that enabled him to get those votes is so incredibly stupid.
We are living in the whole lot of hell of stupid.
Yeah, we are living in the absolute worst fucking timeline of why don't people believe he's fucking stupid?
I remember when he got elected. I was like, oh my God. I was like, can I get on another multiverse? Because I don't like this one. I was like, Loki, beam me up, Scotty.
Reboot.
I was like, okay, no, as a veteran, I'm gonna go shoot up a bank, get a bunch of money, and then get off because they said I deserved it. No.
Like, I can't even imagine as a veteran. Like, I would be like, what? is happening here. Like,
No, that's fine. They don't want to pay me. They don't want to give me my VA benefits. That's fine. I'm just
that's
gonna go shoot
crazy.
up a bank,
That's what they
and I'll
want.
claim
I believe that's
and I'll
what they
claim
want, Jeremy.
Well, don't
That's
we
what they
can't say we
and
want.
I'll
can't say
claim
that.
Joe
I don't think.
Biden.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just I'll just call out Joe Biden during my arrest. I'll get off. It's
That's
fine.
crazy. I mean, it's wild that you even like. That's just where we are now. It's just like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what's it gonna be like for my kids when they become adults? Like,
Your
I
oh,
kids
think
won't
that's the
become
hard
adults
part.
because Russia is gonna launch nukes against us.
and then I hope not.
No, it will, because Russia will have no incentive not to, because Trump will just say, "Oh, don't worry about it. You launch nukes against the rest of the world. Don't worry about it. As long as you don't launch nukes against us." Oh, damn! You launched nukes against us.
My question is
Fuck
why don't
you,
we have any
Putin.
why don't we have any ethical mercenaries?
I
like
mean,
like their whole job is like like we're
hire
taking
me.
out the bad guys. Like
Hire me. Literally, hire me. I will do it.
I mean, I hate to say it like that, but like I mean as a society, like we all know that these guys are like they're throwing people out of windows and like like every day when people are like Putin's not that bad, I'm like, what? Like
Who the fuck is saying Putin's not that bad?
listen, come on now, Jared, listen, these people, I'm telling you.
Okay, you definitely need to hire me.
Look, Jeremy's like, you know what, I'm waiting to go back to the military, let me be a merc. You can be, have you ever watched Scandal, Jeremy? You can
Have you ever played the game Mercenaries 2?
No, I don't play. My husband, he's in there playing Call of Duty right now.
No. Ask him if he's played Mercenaries or Mercenaries 2.
And he'll probably be like, no, maybe he has. Let me ask him. He loves talking about video games. He loves them. Hey, babe. Boo. Have you ever played Mercenaries?
No, not like that. Why?
He said, no, not like that.
No, not like that. So he has, but he doesn't want to admit it.
I don't know. He loves the shooting games or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not saying
You
I
have to
want
say pew.
anybody
You have to say
gone.
pew pew.
Yeah, pew pew. I'm not saying I want anybody gone. I'm just saying that as a world, we know that authoritarianism is bad. We've all read about Hitler. We've all read about all these other guys. Like,
Yeah.
why are we tolerating this? This is the craziest thing in the world, to read history and then to watch us just do it. I'm like,
Because a bunch of people are so disillusioned with the current state of government that they think that this authoritarian figure is better than what they have dealt with for the past 60 years because it's different. It's, oh, he says what he wants.
oh yeah, Ryan knows all about that, don't you, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about he's such a great leader. I'm like, what? I'm like,
So such a strong, powerful,
strong man.
manly leader.
So,
I'm like the
did
kind
any of
that
you
the
have
kind
a
that's
lead on
never
the 50
been
BMG?
What'd you say?
the
Nothing.
kind that's never
Jeremy acting up.
never acted. Yeah, I think that's a bigger issue that'll take decades to
Sorry, 12.7
correct.
millimeter.
To like
Yeah.
know like what a good lead. I mean, but that's
Yeah,
crazy.
what a man.
We
What
know
it
what
means.
good leaders look like. That's crazy to me. Come
I
on
know,
now.
but you
20
remember
millimeter.
the young guy? You remember when he was in?
Yes,
We
he was
tried a
like
couple times.
he's a
I think he's
strong
like,
30
leader.
millimeter.
He says what he means.
and he's 21 years old, and I think a lot of 21-year-olds really do think this is an amazing orator. This is an amazing leader. This is a strong man. This is what you do. You never admit you were wrong. You never say you're sorry. You never show any empathy. I
And
think,
this
like, I
is the
think
same
that's
bunch.
But doesn't that scare you? Like, think
Yeah.
about that. Like, if you think that, like, what type of relationships do you have with women? Like, where you don't apologize,
Oh, it's
you
not just related to women. Just
right?
what
It just in
relationships do you have to
general.
your fellow
Yes,
human? Like
yes,
anything,
yes,
literally, your
yes.
Apathetic.
friends.
Because even some
Like,
women like that about Donald Trump too, and I'm like, what? Woman,
Mhm.
you heard what he said, right? Like, I literally just be like, what's going on? We're
grab
living
her by
in
the
the upside down.
And, and I'm so tired of it. That when they have like when I'm supposed to be like, oh my gosh, he said what about Rob Reiner? He said this all happened because of TDS. I don't even have any of the energy to or the concern. Like I don't care. I'm like, of course he said
like
this. Of
even
course he
Right.
did.
even regardless of the I'm sorry, but regardless of the LGBTQ stuff, like just like his offenses against women, just like he has walked into a young woman's changing room,
Right.
like
Like you
a
would jump on
woman's changing
a
room,
dude
like
for
a
doing some mess
young,
like that.
like an underage women's changing room.
Right.
Yeah. That's the only
Like
silver
he is a
lining.
predator. He is
He is
a piece of
yes.
shit.
He is a predator. And they don't
But these people just ignore it, and it is fucking, it is
it's mind
so
numbing.
aggravating.
Yes. But the thing about it is that they're in these spaces, right? Where they're reinforcing that abstractation. Like number one, the United States this is something that they've been doing for a long time. It's where what's happening in front of your face, they will literally tell you it's not happening. It's called abstraction. And they've been
No,
doing it for such a long
it was
time, but they
not.
can't do it anymore. I mean, they can do it, they just have to program it into the algorithms. But the reason why everything is accelerating so fast is because everything happens in real time. If something happens in France that's bad, we're going to see about it probably within 10 minutes. Like,
Why does
it's not like how it used to be where you read a paper and, oh, that happened in the news today. No,
Yeah.
news is now.
And it was a half
It's
an hour a
I mean
day. News
that
right.
delay
your
hasn't
news
been that
yeah.
delay hasn't been a thing since 2012.
Right. We have
So,
no delay. History is playing out in front of our lives every single day. There's no there's no barrier of information. Unless you're
but
in unless
if
you're in
you,
an algorithm.
I mean, I challenge you to give me an article against George H.W. Bush, or not H. Sorry, George Bush or
Talking about the old one or the young one?
the young one,
The young one. Okay.
or Clinton, or not Clinton, or Obama, or Biden. Or, I mean, Trump obviously has had his many numerous scandals, and there has been a lot of little like sub scandals throughout, but like there there has been so many things against Trump. Like he has literally had a court case against him for like the Stormy Daniels payoff, or
For
the
the vast majority of his adult life has been spent in court.
the financial
He loves it.
mismanagement,
Yeah.
the companies that he has managed that have fallen apart and been unpaid,
Mm-hmm.
contractors.
Oh, I
He's
had
been
that.
That's the one
so
part that I'm surprised
obvious.
about is
I
that
got a
these
personal story.
contractors haven't stepped up and been like, he still owe me money.
No, they have. They have.
They
They're
have
still in court. They are still in
Really?
court. They are ongoing court cases.
Oh my
Nobody
god.
cares
I didn't know
because
that.
this is just the cost of doing business. This is
Oh
just
man.
business America. It's just, no, this is not business America. This should not be what business is in
Right.
America.
Right. That's right.
When I was a chaplain up in the Chicagoland area, we had a couple of like really wealthy neighborhoods, and I had some patients in them over the years, like these enormous, insane homes. And I had one, and I was talking with the family, and he was a contractor or something like that. And this is years ago. This is before he was president. And he said that he did the windows for the tower they built in Chicago, and then didn't get paid. Yep.
Oh, see that? See,
And that was in real time. Like I remember having that conversation with him because I was just shooting the. I don't even remember if it was his mom or
about my money. I don't play about my money.
Yeah, it was.
It's almost like I knew his business practices.
Yep.
It's almost like I read the fucking historical record of his business practices. No one that did anything for his fucking businesses in the past got paid. And if any of them did a fucking centimeter of work wrong, they got sued. They got tried to make basically the payment plus 150% back to the company because Donald Trump is a piece of shit.
But they were worried about illegals stealing from us. No, Donald Trump.
Brandy, I have a different
he didn't
topic.
care about who was employed in these companies. He just cared about whether or not the work was done and then sued them for the work that was done. So it didn't matter.
Hey, Brandy, can I ask you about your time at that country club?
Oh, yeah, sure. I got tons of stories.
I know. And I'm very curious what your take was from a race perspective. Unless that's not somewhere you want to go.
No. So when I worked at the country club, my main goal was I'm here to make money. And so they would have like regular dinner service and the members would come in, they'll eat their dinner or whatever. And I had like favorites because they like me, I like them, and they would come in and I would always get their tables. But we would also have like member guest events, and they're like week-long shindigs, and they would have like all these like fine dining things and parties on the green and all this other stuff. And so my thing was, I was like, well, they're here to have a good time. Let's have a good time. And so they always had like music and stuff. So I would go out there, I would dance with them, and and so some of the men were fresh, they'd be like, ooh, turn it around. I'd be like, all right now. I'm not backing it up. You can dance from the front.
Were they all YT?
Yes, they're all older white men.
Yeah.
And there was one time where I was coming out of the club, and the man's name was Mr. Long. He was real cool. And I was walking out. He was coming in, and he goes, there's my girl. And I was like, uh-oh. He puts his hands up to frame my face, and he kisses me dead on the lips. Like, I couldn't even avoid it. Like, that's how, like, fast it happened. And I was like, oh, okay. And, like, I got in my car, and my first thought was, well, that was my first kiss from an old white man. And like, but stuff like that happened all the time. Like they kiss their other people's wives and stuff, and they would like get high all the time. Like one man, his name was what was that man? He was German, but he would openly smoke weed in the clubhouse. And I was like, and so one day he's walking around, he had some in his pipe, and I could smell it coming down the hallway. And I was like, Mr. Heller, I said, now you can't be smoking weed up in here. And he literally takes a $20 bill out of his pocket, and my shirt, all the shirts that we had pocket on the chest. He takes the $20 bill, Ryan, and he shoves the $20 bill into the pocket of my shirt. I go, sir, you just touched my boobie. He laughs. I was like, I don't do that again. And he just laughs and he just keeps on walking. Like, it was just, I'm telling you, like, rich people don't have the same kind of, I don't know. Because they are so rich, they don't have the same kind of hangups. They don't. They really feel like the world is their oyster and you're just kind of moving through it. Like, we had one guy, he drove this red Ferrari, and he was a drunk. Ooh, he was a bad drunk. And he got hammered one day at the bar, and we were telling him, like, you cannot drive back down the mountain. You will wreck your vehicle. He got so angry at us because we wouldn't let him leave. My boss literally goes, just let him go. I told him, I said, if he killed himself going down that mountain, I said, you going to prison, not me. Like, and like,
We've got to be
I felt,
careful not to say the K word.
oh, I'm sorry. I was like, if he,
I'm getting these things flashed up.
oh, did it flash? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, and also I think we can't say the grass, the
Okay, grass.
happy lettuce or
The
something.
happy lettuce. Okay. but like, I felt like I had more disrespect from the people that were my leaders, like my manager staff, than I did from the people that I served. Like, they were like genuinely just good, rich people who felt like they don't have a care in the world, and they do whatever they do, So, I mean, I've never had a bad experience when I worked there.
Those all sounded like kind of bad experiences.
Well, I mean, I think that maybe because I was a college student, I was just making money. And then too, like, I've never been like a real uptight person. So like, I never, like, when when he kissed me, I just knew that he was just older. And I really didn't think anything about it, like, because I had watched how they were with other people's wives. And I just came to the realization that and I could be wrong, but just from my experience, I just felt like older white people were just a little bit more friendlier with each other. That's not something that black people do. I just felt like maybe that's just something that white people do. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel so. I've spent a lot of my life in and around country clubs as well, and I have always been aware of there's like a racial dimension to staff. I don't know how to describe it, but you have all these kind of elite, wealthy white families, right? That go to these clubs because some of these are $100,000 to buy in just to join.
Oh yeah, this is money.
And then money. So you got to plunk down $100,000 to join, and then it's whatever, $4,000 or $5,000 a month from then on.
Right, and this doesn't include as much golf as they play. They bet a lot. They
much
sign
money
up for a lot of tournaments. They
cigar rooms and card rooms and
yes,
all sorts of money getting thrown around. Yeah, they bet on the golf.
yes.
But there was always like, even when I was younger, like when we would go in and sit down to eat, and this certain families had like a favorite staff member, right? That was black or so, yeah, I think it was just, I remember it feeling weird. I'm like, they all kind of feel like, it always feels like the help kind of, it just always made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that when you work, this is me. I can't speak for everybody else. Is that when you African American, like, you kind of learn how to just play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you now I would never let nobody disrespect me to my face. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't play that kind of stuff. Like I've never been the one to be like to just let somebody just say whatever to me or because I can be a little bit of a hothead in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I always felt like I'm here to do a job, and that means I got to make money. So when I get here, I'm laughing, I'm smiling, I'm making sure that everybody's having a good time. I always said, they say it's a happy hour. I say it's happy hour at my table all the time. I made sure that, you know, I always had access to the wine storage downstairs so I can get the good wine. Like for me, it was about how can I provide a good experience,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I have to make money. And so
Yeah.
sometimes you just learn how to code switch, and but that's just part of being black. Like I
That's the part. That's the part I'm kind of, I guess, curious about. Because to me, it like even as a white guy, I'm like, these are just a bunch of old, rich, racist white dudes. That's how I feel.
right. That's
And
because you probably heard stuff that we didn't hear. Like,
Hey, Brandy,
yeah.
you mind sending me like a email with those dudes' names just to make sure?
Who are you talking about?
What are those dudes you talking about?
Oh, talking about the guys. Listen. I don't even know anything about those people anymore. Listen. It's been.
he's still on the mercenary.
Oh, he talking about the Merc list. Lord, you gonna
No,
get. Listen, you gonna have the FBI listening on me.
That's
we
fine.
we like to.
Jeremy, have you had a few drinks, buddy?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, maybe this is your natural, relaxed tone.
I mean,
So
this is my natural relaxed tone.
Okay.
yeah,
Not without a few drinks.
not without a few drinks.
I mean, I haven't had a few drinks, so
Okay.
if you
I was just
wouldn't
curious.
mind.
No judgment.
No, we have people that's come up here and they've had drinks.
And more than
Had a
that,
little devil's lettuce. Take them all.
well, maybe it is.
That,
Maybe it is because I hear other stuff, or I've been around them, and I know they all are the same political ideology, right? Like they're all thrilled about what ICE is doing, right? And like that's kind of the vibe that I get. And I'm great.
Yeah, I never had anybody disrespect me on the job when I worked there. Now when I worked in other serving jobs, yes. One
But that was a
day,
good experience. The country club was a good experience for you, huh?
listen, it was the best money I made when I worked at Ruby Tuesdays. I had this man. It was Super Bowl day. I'll never forget. My partner that was working the section with me, he comes back and he's like, "I'm gonna take your table," and I was like, "It's Super Bowl Sunday. What are you talking about?
Oh, Bremner, hey.
Like, I'm not gonna make any money, you know." And so he comes in. He's like, "No, for real. Let me take your table." I was like, "Let me go see what he's talking about." I go out there, and as soon as I walk up to the table, he goes, "It's not because you're black." And I was like, "What?" Like, what? And so he goes on and he's explaining how he's a minister of the gospel. He presents me this minister's card. He's like, I've just had bad experiences with black servers in the past, and I just don't want to be served by a black.
Yes. Oh
I
dear.
was, I was like, does this guy hear himself right now? And so, listen, I was so angry, but like you're angry, but you had a point to prove, and that was me. I was like, sir, I said, I don't appreciate what you're saying to me right now, but I'm gonna guarantee you one thing: this is gonna be the best service you ever had in your life.
I love it.
I went.
Bremner's here.
What's up,
Hey,
Bremner?
hello everyone.
Hello.
Oh,
I promised Christian I'd come to his live.
Yeah, I'm so
Why you
grateful you
calling him
did.
Christian, Bremna?
Hey,
It's from the beginning.
yeah, since the first time we met,
Yeah.
I
Ah.
called him Christian.
So I'll see Bremner in these other lives sometimes, and sometimes on the panel, or sometimes just down in the comments, and I say, "Hello, sir," and he says, "Hey, Christian." So that's how we got to this point. Bremner, you missed the recap, but I went on to your live, the
Oh, did you
live.
go on there where
I
the one
I
who's so
did.
bad?
I already retold the whole story. I don't want to drag the others through it
Oh,
again.
that's okay. No, you don't have to do that. You can tell
It
me
was
another time.
it was a very interesting experience. It
Yeah.
ended it ended with like a tribunal, like that, like a there was like a ceremony to kick me out.
Oh, did you? You got ostracized.
Yeah, so it like a bell rang and then some music played, and she said, "What do you think? Is he guilty of Bible libel? And if so, put guilty in the comments." And it was just one
Lots of them.
guilty after another, and then and then it was over.
Wonderful. So
But I
you learned
didn't.
something.
You think this man is
It
Good
was
for
like
your
a
debating
this man is a
skills.
heretic?
it was like at 12:30 last night, and I was doing exactly what I'm doing now. I was just laying on the couch with the phone on my chest, so I wasn't watching her at all.
Yeah.
But I looked up a couple times just to see kind of what was going on, and she was like, her face was like right in the camera, screaming at me.
I'm sorry I missed it. I would have loved to have watched it.
It was.
That's funny.
I had two people, one of whom was Joe. He was in the comments a while back, Brandy. He just said hi, wanted to check in. I'll hopefully catch you next time. He saw the travesty. And
So
he actually
she didn't see what I saw.
no,
No.
she said that the work that I do is just evil incarnate.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
she must have been in quite a mood.
Yeah. But that's just it. It switches. I think the most fascinating part of the whole night for me was not the interaction, because I was tired and not engaged. She asked me a couple questions a few times and I didn't even answer. I just was like laying on the couch listening
What
to
am
her
I
rant.
doing?
Yeah. I had my eyes closed. Laying on the couch in the dark, listening to her just scream at me. And
Yeah.
then she's like, "Isn't that what you said? Because you're like religious?" And I didn't answer. I just sort of sat there, and she was like, waited, and then went into something else. It was a fascinating experience. But she got really worked up, and then as soon as she was really worked up with a guy that was before me. And the only reason that I went up is because she said something to him that I wanted to clarify. That's the only reason I requested up.
Yeah.
She said evil is subjective, which then her point, God is evil. I don't understand how we can have that discussion if evil is subjective. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I went up to ask her that question, and she sort of answered it and then just said, "I see you're a chaplain." I was like, "Oh, Lord, like, what are we doing here? Why?" She looked at my page, of course. It says I'm a chaplain, and then she just went off on how evil, like I go into people at their most vulnerable point and try to convert them or convince them to believe what I do, or none of which is what I do. But
No.
it was
Attraction is always better, right? That's the one. Attraction is the one that works. Eh? Like if you fool people, right? At some point they're going to figure out they got fooled, right? And if you just attract them to what you have, right? I have happiness, freedom, and joy, right? And peace and all that thing. So attraction always works better. Eh? The Buddhists do it. They are the watchers, right? They just watch. Not so much promotion. Eh? Right? That problem is Christian nationalists, not Christians.
Who's attracting?
I agree with you, Bremner. Bremner, do you remember several months ago? This was my question that I was like, "Hey, if I ever get a chance to cross paths with you," you mentioned in a live that maybe it was mine that where you came up, or maybe it was Olive's or somebody else's, but you said that you pray to the moon.
Yeah, La Bella Luna, the beautiful moon, right? Every day I prayed to the moon, because when I went to
That would be
AA
Hispanic
family,
or
right,
Latin.
to they told me that I had to, and I had already convinced myself that there really is God, and that you get this circle. But if you if you give your miracle away to anyone else, or even to a God, you'll miss your life, kind of idea.
Mm.
But they told me I had to pray. I had to find something more powerful than me. And so, of course, I
Put your
realized that
faith
the
into
moon
something above you.
can move the ocean, right? And so if the moon can move the ocean, maybe the moon could help me be sober. And it worked, right? I've been sober 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that prayer is a way of loving yourself. And that's kind of what I needed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thanks. I love that you stuck up for him.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that, Bremner. It was said sort of in passing, and you said I pray to the moon every day, and I have a lot of respect for your character, just the way you talk to people and the way you interact
Oh,
and
I
kind
could be
of.
an asshole too, but
I know that. I've heard you.
We don't mind that side.
Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that. I've heard that too. It doesn't change the fact that I've had a lot of respect for you, in the few times I've heard you, and I was just like, that's a guy I'd like to talk to. And if I ever got a chance, I would ask him to elaborate a little bit on that. I pray to the moon every day, because I could tell you weren't saying that like facetiously.
Oh no, I've done it every day since I got sober, because I remember what the fuck it was like being drunk all the time. And the worst part of that was not the being drunk part. It was the times between being drunk. That was the worst times. And it was awful. And I don't want to ever go back there.
Mm.
So this worked, and I'm too stupid to think of something better. So I just keep doing it.
So
Yeah.
is it like confession, or is it just
I think it is the ultimate seek for humility, right? We ask something else for help, and the best definition I can think of humility is the ability to ask for help. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no,
that's kind
I
of how I
know.
look at it. And I think that that's the great quest in life for people who've, there's some people on this earth who are just so selfish they can't get beyond themselves, and so having a God really means nothing to them. It's all about them anyways, right? And I believe that there's a portion of the people, when you get older, figure out that the real quest in life is humility, right? And with that, everything else falls into place. Money has really nothing to do with it.
Right. No,
That's so good.
the reason why I asked you that is because so I've been well, I'm done with it. Well, I'm done with the deconstruction part, but I'm reconstructing like my moral scaffolding. And the prayer part has been really hard, like, because it's not that I don't believe in God anymore. I just don't know. I don't know. It's just different. Like like today I kind of because I heard a song today and it touched me, and I can say I had a spiritual response to it. But there's still that part of me that's like, you used to pray, you can pray again, but it just doesn't feel the same. If
I
if
understand.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
One of the things they tell us to do when we first go to the meetings of people like me who are a devout atheist, right, is you need to find something that's more powerful than you. Make up your own God, in a sense, right? Now, some people say stupid things like pray to your wallet or pray to a Coke can. But if you put some thought into it, in the creation of your own God, right? Then you can respect that God and believe in that God because you figured it out.
Right. And like thing about it is like I do believe in like the ethics of Jesus, and I still feel connected to that in a major way. And maybe I just need to resume what I was doing, but it doesn't mean that I'm not exploring other things too. I'm just, I don't know. Like my husband the other night, he was sleeping, and I don't know, I just put my hand on his back. I wasn't doing anything. I was just, just touching him. And he was like, "Are you praying for me?" And I was like, "No." But I can tell, it was something he wanted, And
But it's almost like do you feel like you have to like relearn it from?
I don't know. It's something I got to sit with for a while. I think that's the reconstruction part, is finding what fits. Like I know I told you before that I find the divinity of Christ in his ethics and what he shows. I don't necessarily believe in his divinity as God anymore.
Yeah.
I
More like a
believe,
prophet.
yes, more like a prophet. And so I think that's the part where I'm having a hard time. Like I'm navigating that space, but I do feel the need for confession and for remembrance, for thanksgiving.
Fearless moral inventory. It's the
Yeah.
fourth step in AA. Do a searching and fearless moral inventory of yourself. If you practice those things on yourself, on your day-to-day life, and say, was that really good what I did? Was it harmful to someone else? That sort of thing, right? Right. It's the steps in AA came out of religion, right? That's where they started in the 1940s. Bill and Bob, right? I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Bob who got sober first. And he said, I can't remember the words he used to. I think it was sort of a little bit of a derogatory word towards Christians, right? But he told Bill this, and so Bill looked into it, and that's how Bill got sober, and that's how they started AA, because they wanted to have anarchy rather than have someone lead it, no leaders, total anarchy, so that everybody would be the same, right? So very interesting what they did, and they've gotten like thousands of people sober and off drugs. I guess I have to say rugs. Sorry, it's American Live, right, buddy?
Yeah. We've already had some strikes.
Oh, okay. I'll try to be careful.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we have real freedom in Canada still, up until when you guys invade us, and then perhaps we may lose it.
Bremner.
We're so sorry.
I want to say hi to Noah in a second, but I have a couple other questions.
Hey, Noah.
I have a couple other questions for Bremner.
I feel like I'm cornered, but okay.
No, I didn't. I just have been.
He
don't want you to
does
feel that
this. He does this, Bremner.
Do we have a tribunal?
Yeah. No, let's see. Yeah, if you feel like it, sure.
Put in the comments if he's guilty. If he's guilty of something.
Guilty.
Shame. It was so fantastic. Bremner, curious if you've been. Do you still go to meetings ever?
Once in a while, I started to struggle with a little bit of the hypocrisy. People who forget how they got sober, right? People who think that the program owes them something rather than they owe the program something, if that makes sense, right? And like you have that all in life, right? We have lots of hypocrites on TikTok. We have lots of hypocrites in our lives, right? That's just part of the world. So I started to lose patience with it. Yeah.
I only went to one meeting, and now I remember the first time that I remember having a short interaction with you. I think it's when you said, I pray to the moon every day. We were up on a panel together, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And there was sobriety came up real quickly. And I mentioned that you had mentioned 23 years.
Yeah.
And I just hit 8 in September. So that's why I was like, oh, I have more questions for him at some point. My brother is ahead of me. My brother, I think, just hit 13 or 12 years.
Yeah. Did you do the steps?
So he got sober before me, and his came with quite a bit of consequences. He had to, it was not an option for him to not go to meetings. He had to go to meetings.
Me too.
And I think it was ordered to do like 90 meetings in 90 days or 60 and 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he did that. He went through that, and he was on house arrest for a long time after that, and has been sober since. I came a few years later when my first little one arrived. And I talked to him at that point, and I was like, "What do I need to do?" I was like, "I'm done." And he was like, "You need to go to a meeting every day for 60 days or something like that, like whatever the advice was." And I remember feeling like, well, I'll go. And the first one I went to, it took me a while. It took some courage to like look up where they were and what time it was going to happen. And then I got there and it was closed. They had changed locations. And so I waited until the next week, and I was like, maybe I don't need to go. And I went to one, and it was a fascinating experience, but I only went to one. And I don't know if that's like, I know my brother was adamant.
So you got sober in the church?
No, I wasn't really plugged into a church then either. I had the example of my best friend and other family members and my older brother to kind of let me know that this is a problem. I saw their lives and how hard it got for them. And so there was just an evening in my life where I had a ton to drink, and I woke up the next day and was like, that was my last time drinking. And I had done that like 10 times prior. I had promised myself that I wouldn't drink anymore, and I would always a week later or 4 days later be back out. But this morning felt different, and I told my wife, I was like, I'm not going to drink anymore. I need to stop. And I think she was probably like, okay, until like this weekend when we're going to go out and do whatever.
Well, I think she was probably a lot fucking happier than that, but okay.
Well, I don't know. It's not that she wasn't happy. I think she didn't believe me because she'd heard it before.
No, she didn't believe you. Nobody believed you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was interesting how it happened. I went to that one meeting, and that particular place only met once a week or something, and you have to kind of go to different locations where I was at the time. Like you kind of have to chase them around. Like, okay, Tuesday I'm going to go to this town, and Wednesday I'll go up here, and Thursday I'll go up here.
Yeah. We all do that.
Is it the same up there?
Yeah, even where it's a big city here, but you still got to drive for like 45 minutes to get to a meeting sometimes.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to like short skirt the steps piece. But I don't feel, I mean, I haven't struggled with the temptation. I haven't been like, or I would absolutely reach out to my brother.
Why didn't you do the steps? May I ask that question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which part?
I don't know that I was scared or didn't want to do them. It was just, I sort of felt like I didn't need to do them. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. I mean, I still to this day don't feel like I really should have done those steps. I don't have any like guilt that I didn't do them. I'm very grateful.
Well, you can start tomorrow, eh?
Yeah.
Actually, you can start when you're done your live, right? Pick up your book and read how it works. That's why it's titled How It Works. read the whole thing. And if it doesn't click in your head, read it again.
Yeah.
If you want the promises, right, which are written right after how it works, right after the steps, once you get all the steps done, right, they can tell you the promises. They're written there in that book. Read those promises too, right? And say to yourself, do I have this? Right? Because I can tell you I did the steps. And my belief is that my life is a mathematical miracle, and every breath is a goddamn gift. And this is all I get. This is all I have. And I'm going to enjoy. I mean, I can be miserable and unhappy and sad, and I can be all those things, but I don't want to be any of those things for too long, because I want to enjoy the only life I'm going to get. I'm never coming back, right? And maybe in 100 years, people like Elon Musk will invent a robot body that you can go live in. But I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just enjoy my miracle, right? Because it took a lot of pain to get to the place where I realized that it is an absolute joy to be alive, right? And when I get my last breath, I'm going to be satisfied with what I did and what I enjoyed. Right? I don't want to be one of those people laying there wishing for another breath. No, thanks.
Man, I wish my dad would. I wish my dad would get that memo. My dad's an alcoholic, and
yeah, mine was too, dear.
Yeah.
My dad, my brother, my other brother, my little brother was a K addict, and he didn't make it. But my other brother was similar to the Christian here. One day he just decided that he didn't want his life to be like his father's, and he stopped. And he never had another drink, and he never went to church, or I don't know, maybe he prayed. He didn't tell me, but he just stopped, and he's never had a drink since. He just thinks that it would ruin his life. He's smarter than me. I'm a slow learner.
Yeah, I think my dad just doesn't even care at this point. Like, I mean, he's like purposely wrecked all of his relationships with his kids. Like,
yeah,
I often think, like, you know, do you want this more than you want someone to be, you know, standing next to you when you're dying? You know, I think about that a lot.
When you're an alcoholic, and not just an alcoholic, I had a lot of emotional problems too from when I was a kid. But through all that, I remember what I was like. And one of the things that I had, and your dad has it too probably, was I had this magic ability to change the truth in my head.
Oh my God!
That
Yes.
it wasn't my fault; it was their fault.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Yeah, and so that's why I said do the steps, right? Do that searching and fearless moral inventory of yourself. It's a cleansing of yourself, and then you never have to be that way, other than there's kind of one rule, and the rule is you have to be honest.
Yes.
With everybody, and you can't tell lies. You can mistakenly, give information to somebody you think to be true, but if you find out it's not true, then you have to tell them it's not true. And you have to accept when you're wrong, and you have to accept the idea you don't know everything. Now, that's not easy to do until you find out that's the truth about yourself, is that you can't do any of those fucking things. You can't fix a lie. You have to fix truth. Yeah,
That's true for everybody except if your name is Trump.
Oh yeah, Trump was
Bremner, thank you so much for this, Bremner. I am very grateful. I have more questions for you. That's usually what happens. As I hear from you, I'll end up with more questions. So come back anytime. I love that you're here.
Well, I love going up and talking. And everybody wants to listen to me. Most panels, they don't want to listen to me because I'm pretty far left. I'm fucking near a communist, right? I believe that the 99% should rise up and get rid of them. But that's, not going to happen.
Never going to happen, huh?
Yeah. I went up on a panel today and explained to them that in conflict resolution, you know, I took this course for conflict resolution when I worked in a jail, and in conflict resolution, basically, first of all, you have to convince the parties to resolve the conflict. But the most important thing is you need to convince both sides they're not going to get everything they fucking want, right? And I don't know how America can do that at this point, because they've both decided that each side is right and each side is supposed to get everything they want because the other side is totally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never going to make it like that. And I'm just an old man who's lived a long time, pretty lucky. Even all the pain that I went through to get to the lucky part was worth it, right? But I don't know how to explain that to people.
Bremner, this is both sides, and both sides think that they're right and the other side's wrong. I do believe that. However, comma, I also believe that
It's okay,
anyone
say it.
who is a parent or a grandparent, right? And
Yep.
so I'm not including these really dumb, like their brains aren't developed yet, 18-year-old idiots, right?
No,
I'm not
agreed.
including
Yeah,
them because most of
agreed.
them are not parents or grandparents.
Agreed.
But I do believe that anyone who has children, or maybe even a spouse, I do believe that we all want the best for our kids and our grandkids. I
Agreed.
do believe we have different ideas about what we want for other people outside of that, right?
Agreed.
Um,
Yeah.
but I still think that we want the best for our kids and our grandkids. I just think right now that the administration that we have is not allowing the best for our kids and our grandkids, no matter which side you're on.
Absolutely 100% agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I do also have to agree that, like, when I look at the Democratic Party and the last president you had, he stood out on the lawn and said that they were putting babies in ovens and unaliving them and all that. And he never even saw any pictures of it, right? And so those are things that, like, I look at and
Who did he
think,
say was
you
doing
got
that? I didn't
that
hear him say
Hamas
that.
did that in Israel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember him saying a lot of
Yeah, the
um,
information he was given, right? They
misinformation
gave him
about,
that
yeah,
information. He
yeah.
didn't make that up on his own. Yeah, he's not that type of man. But I think that your government is like, I agree with everything you said, every word, right? Trump is a big orange bag of, can I call him names on here? Will you get in trouble?
I have no idea.
Tangerine Mussolini, sure.
Yeah, but he's a bag of pus. And
Well, yep.
and I agree with that. But what I think the people on the Democratic side need to realize is that the 1% runs your whole country, the 1% runs your government, and they're in complete control of almost every member up there.
That's right.
So if you want to run your country, don't you think the 99% could figure out all the problems? And if the 99% were running the country, the 99% would probably vote in like engineers and scientists.
Yes. People who
And
know what they're talking about.
people who
Right.
know what they would do that, wouldn't you? Right. So how do
I
you get
think
the
the problem,
99% to
I think,
decide
I
we've
think the
had enough
problem
of the
right now,
1%?
Bremer, I think the problem right now is that the 99% is divided, right? You've
Yes.
got the right side of the 99% who thinks that they should be able to tell everybody else what they can do, when they can do it, how they should live their lives, and what they should be doing in their bedrooms. And then
Yeah, the
you've got the left
99%
side,
they've fallen for the propaganda, right?
right,
They've
right,
fallen for this idea that because it's written in a book that was written like 2,000 years ago about a guy who died 200 years before that, that because it's written in a book, then it's okay to hate people for using a bathroom with stalls in it, right? Like it's so silly and they want to fight over it, right? And they believe that propaganda. So what the left needs to do is figure out, first of all, to get the right to realize that the real enemy is the 1%, right? And I would push that as hard as I could. That the reason you don't have enough money for food and the reason you don't have enough money to pay your bills is not because of men who want to be ladies going in a bathroom. That's not the reason. The reason is the 1% are keeping all the fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if we remember back to the 40s, 50s, and 60s, right, you could have one job, have 2 cars and a house, and have 5 kids. And put
take a
them through
vacation
school.
every year.
Take a
And vacation every year. Right?
What is a vacation? What are those things?
Well, that's when the
Listen,
1% didn't used to keep all the fucking money.
I've been married to my husband for 26 years, and we have been on one vacation that was only a weekend that we took both of our sons at that point. And that's it. Like that's it. We don't have the money to go on vacations.
Me neither.
Yeah, well, the 1% figured out, they just give you a real good taste of it, and then they can tell all the next generations, well, the problem is not, you know, society. The problem is you. You're not working hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. Look at this guy. This one guy out of 1 million, he's made it. He's up in the 1%. And so if you just work hard enough and you just keep trying, right, you can get there. They're starting to forget that dream. Now they just want to make you stupid, right? Less education. They want to go back to when, you know, basically we were all slaves and they originally divided us, right? That was, what, 300 years ago?
Yep.
It's kind of like a feudal system, but with more rich people and more poor people.
The bad part is we have the history. We know the history. But for some reason that it's just not internalizing that. Why are we learning lessons?
Yeah, the lesson is unlearned, right? For some people, the lesson is unlearned. How many lies can he tell them before they go, fuck, he's a liar?
Right.
You know, the lesson is unlearned. It must be repeated.
Right. Like, how bad does reality have to get before you snap out of it?
Well, some of them are snapping out of it now. Some of them are starting to see. I'm starting to hear a lot more of it than before the election, I can tell you that. But I'm thinking, if you don't hurry up, it's going to be too late.
Brenner, do you mind if I ask, do you think that it's too late for the whole step out of reality portion of the whole idea of Donald Trump?
No, I think the thing that's going to wake up everybody is one of the states has had enough and secedes.
No. I'm what I'm saying is, do you think that someone saying, "Oh no, I voted for Donald Trump 3 times in a row. Now I feel bad and I don't want to do it again, or I regret my vote," after realizing what he is and kind of ignoring it for 10 years now?
You want
I don't give grace for that.
Because here's the problem, Noah. Every person that I've talked to that has said, "Oh, I regret my vote. Yeah, I voted for him 3 times, but like this time I see all the lies and blah blah blah." Shut up. But here's the problem.
I know it's frustrating, but what you're trying to do.
Hold on. But when I ask them, so in the 2026 midterms, so does that mean that you're going to vote blue? They'll say, well, I mean, it just depends on who's running on the right.
I've heard the same thing, TikTok.
They have not changed their mind about anything.
No, so TikTok, you and I follow each other, and I've made it very clear. I voted for Trump in 2016 when I was 18 years old.
Okay. Cool.
Like Brenna,
hold that against you.
Bremer said, I made a mistake. I learned from it very quickly. because early 2017 I started debating against MAGA and said, "Hey, I made a mistake. Let's make sure you don't make that same mistake I did." And I've been doing that since then. And I sit here and I think to myself, and I'm sorry, consider, consider.
Reconsider.
I jumped in. I'm sorry. I just
No, welcome
No, it's
here.
okay. You've been meaning to
It's
come up
okay.
anyway.
You had a point to make, and I heard it. Yeah.
so that's my issue. Is I don't think there's no forgiveness for people who voted for Donald Trump 2 or 3 times. I think they've kind of missed the point of not voting for him. And if they voted for him, they're not voting for him because he's going to do something. Because we all know he's not going to do what they voted for him for.
Yeah, they realize that.
It's that
However,
optimism
what
that
they're
I,
trying to do is tell a slow learner they're a slow learner, and all that does is convince them to work harder to prove you wrong.
isn't that the truth? Oh, I'm so bummed that I have to call it. I wish I could just hit pause until tomorrow night. We're gonna do live tomorrow night.
Oh,
You weren't
okay.
even supposed to be on this long, Ryan.
I know. But Bremner, thank you for this. And Noah, I want to hear more from you if there's ever a Wednesday you can join us. But we do this every Wednesday night at 9
I want
o'clock.
to follow
Oh
that.
yeah, I'll give you a follow. I go live all the time, so it kind of depends. I wasn't feeling the live tonight, so I wanted to join someone else, and I know TikTok, so I joined her.
Yeah.
Yay.
Kind of the same situation here. I wasn't feeling the live tonight either, and I was by myself, so I just thought I'll just go live and see what's going on. So thank you guys.
Ryan, you needed to cleanse your soul, my friend.
I think this is a good guilty. You guys want to send me out with a tribunal?
Shame.
Shame, shame,
I want to
shame.
call that girl and ask her if she's got a tape of it.
There's actually an app that has the bell, and I'll have to find it, but you can use it. It does the bell, and it says shame, shame.
Bremner.
Anyway,
Bremner,
I gotta
at
go,
some-
guys. Take care, guys. Much love.
Thanks,
Be
Noah.
safe,
Yeah,
please.
good night, guys.
Thanks,
It's so
Noah.
nice to meet you, young man.
Bremner, at some point I'll tell you the rest of if you can't find a video of it, maybe she'll send you a video of it, but I'll tell you the dynamics the next time we cross paths.
Yeah. I wanted to tell that young man he couldn't imagine, like voting for Donald Trump is one thing, but the harmful things I did to myself when I was young, I couldn't even list them. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy stuff.
I'm so grateful for this. I've had those questions. I've wanted to talk to you since that
Yeah, you
interaction.
invited me a couple of times, and I thought, and then I saw it, and I thought, oh, geez, I should go chat with Christian. I haven't talked to him for a while.
I'm glad you did. Thank you so much, Street.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Ryan.
We'll talk tomorrow
Nice to
night
meet
if you're
everyone.
there.
I follow
Yep,
everyone.
I'll be here.
Take
All right.
care,
See you
guys.
tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.